legacy. Wednesday night tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Mel and PIP's in on this legacy. Let's go. What you know about this legacy? Wednesday night tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Get your popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.
I got you, baby.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another great episode of Legacy, where this show is strictly about mail and PRP talk. And of course, you have your favorite two hosts in the most, Mark and Will. What's going on, my brother?
Man, nothing's going on, man. I'll tell you what, it is the day of reckoning. We have
you
QB.
Casper?
No. I don't. I'm trying to fade in. There we go. I'm gonna try to fade in.
There we go.
I'm gonna try to fade all the way out because it's been one of them days. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. I'll bring myself back. There we go. So if I do the thing right, let's see. But nah, man, everything's good. I can't complain. How was your day, man?
It was smooth, man. Another hot one. But I ain't gonna complain. It could be, way worse than this. So I'm good. Great day.
I know that's right. Like I said, I can't complain, man. It's always good when you have the kids on here, the student athletes. So what I'm saying?
Yes.
We kind of spoiled you guys yesterday. So great interview with Dr. Brooks. So my goodness gracious, that was I heard that I heard it kind of reached a lot of people. Had a lot of people kind of touched some kind of way. Some people was like,
Mm-hmm.
Some people loved it. Some people like, oh, okay. But I'm gonna tell you what, when we can have Dr. Brooks on here and just like the State of the Union, man, that's love. That's love.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna continue to bring her on and see what's going on with that. Without a doubt, that's things. But today, man, today, this special guest we got today, man, he's actually one of the first student athletes that follow us when we first came out. So it was just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time. It was really dissecting the whole thing.
Yeah.
And once I bring him on, I will kind of explain the whole thought process of that. Because Mark and Will was not neglecting him, but you just
not at all.
You gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. So before we get to the interview, let me see. Let's see if we can get some stuff right. Okay, cool. So this is where you're gonna follow us, man, at Mark and Will Show. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, you don't stop, Instagram, YouTube, Mark and Will Gaming. It's on Twitch. Mark and Will Gaming is on YouTube. Get to that. I promise you, guys, get to that website page. I will I'm gonna sit down. I might see. That's the thing about it. I might have to take a day off just to sit and just do stuff on that.
Yeah,
because it's so much stuff that needs to be done to update that. But it better get it done. Also, we got the number one group. I don't care what no one says. The Players Club. All the youth stuff. So go ahead and make sure you guys put some highlights on there. It's a lot of AAU 7-on-7. What's going on? You guys ain't posting nothing on that. Don't wait for us. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? That's a page we letting you guys do what you got to do. So make sure you go ahead and hit that up big time. And, because before you know it, the season's back, the fall season. So we'll go ahead and get these polls going and different things like that. So it's definitely here. And definitely here, Mr. Kolter Smith, Male High School, Class 24 quarterback. What's up, QB1? What's going down?
What's up?
I tell you what. Hey, I'm going to tell you what. Bulldog, hey, he's on it, man. He's on the grind. Because he utilizes social media like every student athlete needs to. And what I'm saying is, he puts his videos out there. He, he tweets, he retweets, he does. I mean, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? So Kolter's been doing this for a while, and like I said, he's been one of the first student athletes to actually follow us and things like that. So man, it was just a matter of time we had to get you on here, man. We know you busy, and doing that stuff at quarterback stuff. So man, let me ask you this real quick. So what's been going on in the off season for you?
Honestly, just like I'm sure you guys know, just a lot of camps. I think this year I went to 9. I think there was a number from them. So, those are kind of all over basically my whole month of June. And then, sprinkle in practice with Mail that we've had. And now that we're in July, we'll be in Hoover this weekend for 7-on-7. And then next weekend we'll be at EKU. And then we'll start getting into team camp. And then our first scrimmage is, I think, the second week of August.
Wow.
So,
That's right
yeah.
around the corner. That is right around the corner. So being that okay, all these camps and stuff like that, man, and sometimes these camps, is it? Have you been at a camp like 2 camps in a week or something like that? Have you done that?
Yeah.
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 So how do you
They
like?
pile up.
Well, Coach, I'm asking this like, how do you like get? I mean, I know being competitive and stuff like that, but man, how do you get up for that like each time?
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie and say that it's easy every single time. There's been days where I'm just like, like,
Mm-hmm.
I've questioned it, but at the same time, my biggest thing is, I hate seeing somebody and me thinking that they're working harder than I am. I guess it's a competitive edge that I want to take, but I always want to at least know that I'm working my hardest so that nobody's outworking me. And so that's kind of what pushes me, even like if I'm sore or, I try and do everything that I can to keep my body right, do the proper hydration and nutrition. But yeah, my biggest thing is I hate being lazy. So like last weekend I was on vacation and it was killing me. Like, and my parents kept on telling me, they're like, it's good to just get a week off, but like it was killing me because I'd pick up a football and I'd just be like, okay, but then I go in the ocean for a little bit and like it kills me when I feel like I'm not doing everything that I can be at my best. So that's really what just pushes me every single day.
Hey, shout out to your pops, Chad. I think Mark. I think they
Yeah.
may be the first father and son duo to be on the show besides yourself, Mark, because we don't had your sons on here. So besides
Yeah.
besides yourself, but I think that's the first duo. Shout out
Yes,
Chad,
sir.
big time.
Yeah.
So after the season, how
Mhm.
long did it take you to get over that loss in the championship game?
Um, I think, I guess if you look at it, that was my third year losing it, so it was a familiar feeling. And to say that like, it's the same feeling, it's easier to get over, it's not. But it is one of those feelings where it's like, been there, done that. I don't need to dwell on it. What can we do to get better, and what can we do to get back there? I think fortunately, people look at it and they're like, okay, it's been 5 state championships, we haven't won one, but the way I look at it is, it's been 5 state championships, we've made it, so we know exactly what it takes to get there. Now we just got to do the little things right to keep it and win it this time. I mean, 1 point, that's just a few mistakes. Like those are the little things, and that was the biggest thing for me, was honing in on those little things and like just execution part. Because I mean, if you look at it, you could call it how it is. You could say, we had penalty or calls that didn't go our way, but when you put the game in the hands of the refs, no matter what, you can't always count on them. So I think the biggest thing for me was honing in on the little things that we could do different this year to change the outcome, and not really dwelling on the loss.
Right. So how long, right when the season ended, after that game, how long was it before you was back in the lab?
Like the next week. Yeah. I wasn't. I'm not one. I was, so luckily for me, I've had great coaches and great mentors from just early on, and one of them is James Fletcher, who has been working with me ever since Little League, and he's always told me, like, at the quarterback position, you can't get hot, you can't get way too high, and you can't be way too low. You always have to stay even. So when you
Right.
throw it the game winning touchdown, you gotta walk off, be cool. When you throw a pick, you gotta walk off, be cool. see what happened. Don't let it happen again. So I've always been lucky to always have more of a cool, even kill kind of head
Hmm.
and not let things get to me. So I mean, when we lost, it was a grueling feeling, but I knew that we're gonna get another chance at it, and this time there's no way we're gonna let it slip through our hands.
Right, right. And being a quarterback that you really that actually basically like split uh time, basically you guys was 50-50,
Mhm.
1A, 1B type stuff like that. How much, and I'm not saying it wasn't no urgency because you got one more year, because like I said, it's different from someone who's a number two or number three, somebody who's not playing. Like you was in every game, you was playing, you was help leading wins and things like that. So in the back of your mind, I mean, is it easier to say like not easy to say, but saying that okay, I got one more year? Because if you didn't have one more year, of course, it's definitely this conversation or this question is a little bit different. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you got it one more. This is it. So how
Right.
pressing are you? Because like you said, five straight.
Hmm.
And I don't know too many teams that have been to five straight championship games, right?
Right.
So, how much pressure is it on you guys, you seniors, to go back?
I think obviously people are gonna look at it. I personally am not gonna put as much pressure on us because I know where, like, as a team, we're gonna have each other's back no matter what, and we're gonna do it game by game. We're gonna take it game by game, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the year, we've always had a very successful November, and that's what's gotten us to December. But what's gotten us there is taking it game by game. And I
Right.
think if you get a big head and if you look way too far, everything else kind of overpasses you. And my biggest goal this year is, take it game by game. The biggest thing that we've all talked about as seniors, just in general, is when we have our highs and we beat, like we did last year when we beat Saint X. I
Mm-hmm.
think in the second or third round to go to the semis. That was a big high for us.
Right.
So, like this year as seniors, what we really talked about is how can we focus on those highs and then mitigate the lows. Because I mean, like I said earlier, we know what it takes to get back there. Wolf's been there way too many times too,
Right.
so he knows
Right.
what it takes a program to get back there. So I have no doubt that we have the team to make it back there. That's why I'm not putting too much pressure on us because I know we have the talent. I know we have the coaches. Honestly, I just think it comes down to leadership at this point, which is the biggest thing for me. And what I've been trying to tell our seniors this year is just we need to be those leaders that, because the great thing was last year, I think we had a heavy senior class.
Right.
This year, everybody who's coming up has also seen what it's like and what it takes to make it to a state championship. So even though we didn't win it, I know we have the resources, the team, the staff, and just honestly now the leadership to make it and win it this year.
Before we get into some of these questions to get everybody an opportunity to get to know you, which game was the best ending, Saint X or Ballard?
Ooh, if you ask me, I would say Saint X only because honestly, only because when I look, we called it, and when I looked at our coach, I sat right next to our O line coach after he called the plays, a formation where we put Sweeney at quarterback and he does
Mm-hmm.
motion and everything, and I sat back there and I looked at him and I was like, this is what we're gonna bank the game on. Like it was one of those plays. Ballard was just one of those things where I was like, I thought we got cheated out of because I felt like we had the ball in the end zone, and
Mm-hmm.
I, one of those things where I looked at, like, I was looking at like, I mean, how stupid can y'all be? You already fumbled. If you look back in the game, they ran under center a few times and had fumbled a snap before,
Right.
and so when they did it under again, I mean, it was never what you expected. You
Right.
were never gonna be like, oh yeah, they were gonna fumble, we'd pick it up and score. But I think Saint X was more crazier. One, I think because that was not a bigger aspect, but that was definitely a game that we had marked because they were number one, and I think everybody had us written down as underdogs, and we were going to go out. And
Right.
so after we did it, and I think Tonio threw the ball in the end zone and Max caught it diving, like just the feelings and like the atmosphere of it, I think that was probably the better.
Colter, I think you picked that one just because of our guys, Antonio and Max, who's been on the show, and that was the offensive ending. I'm gonna tell you, that
You're
blew my
probably
mind. That was that.
I'm
Go ahead. What you say?
I'm biased a little bit.
Yeah, a lot. No, no. You know what's so funny? Because that was a great ending. Great
Yeah,
ending. I call Mark up. I said, "Hey, woo." But that ballad was so
I
unexpected
know.
that
Yep,
I, we could draw up so many scenarios and it wouldn't be that.
I know.
It wouldn't be that.
I know. That was
But
one of the, we even looked at it. I was like, that's just one of those ball don't lie moments. Like you really can't write it up.
no,
Like
you're
if
right.
as a quarterback just watching it, it hurt because it was like you got to feel bad. Like I would have hated to be in that position and like have to go because well, that was Friday night. You got to go back to school Monday, and
Right.
like I'll give props to Ballard. Whereas, dude, they had a great year. Like that was, I
Hmm.
think, probably one of the better years, and Morton's done a great job over there. So I mean, you definitely feel for him, but at the same time, it's like you know
Right.
had had the call before gone away, we thought it should have. We would have never got put in the position. So, I mean, do I feel like I know Ballard? I'm not gonna say they got cheated out of state championship, but I mean, to watch that happen, like you said, it was probably one of the most unexpected things to happen. So,
We don't us male bulldogs. We don't give. We don't. We
no,
hey we do not give back. We don't feel sorry for none of that. Hey, I was right there on the goal line when
yep,
I thought it was going to be a touchdown, and it should have been a touchdown.
yep,
And just got to see the the
no.
Mr. Manley do his thing. So hey, it's
Mm-hmm.
all good. Mark, come on, let's get it. Let's go, Mark.
Yes, sir. How old was you when you first started playing sports?
Sports, I think would be my first sport that I played was baseball. So I'd probably go back 4 or 5 t-ball. Football, it was actually a funny story. My first time playing football, I think it was 6, 7, and my mom meant to sign me up for flag football. And when we got out there, they started putting pads on us, and we started hitting. And she called up my dad, and my dad was like, "So that's tackle football, not flag football." And so that's kind of how I got it. But for the actual quarterback position, I didn't start playing quarterback till probably fifth and going into my 6th grade year because our quarterback went down with a concussion and he was out for the season. And I'd always played baseball, so I've always had a decent arm, but mechanically I was never really sound. And so that's when they threw me in. And I had a good arm, but that's when I really started to focus on my mechanics and becoming an actual quarterback rather than just sitting back and throwing it.
So, what league did you play in, baseball in and stuff like that? What little league?
It was just at Linden, the recreational part. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't
Yeah.
really, I wouldn't say like a big league. I never did travel ball or anything like that. So I
Right.
just
Right.
did ball and then fall. That was the
Right.
biggest, but hardest thing for me was transitioning because I did pitching and shortstop, and it's such a different release. So that's something I had to work on big too. Was transitioning from spring ball right back into football in the fall.
Right. Right. You know your dad was gonna make you play. He's ex football player. That was that.
Yep.
So, what's your best youth league sports memory?
My best one, um, I always love a good underdog story. So I'll go with I think it was our junior year of Little League. We went down to Frankfurt, and it was the number one team in our league at the time. They were the Frankfurt Rams, I think. And so we went down there and played them, and everybody was like, "We're gonna lose." We had a good season, but I mean, if you looked at their run game, everybody thought it'd be impossible for us to stop them on the run. And we ended up going down there, and I'm pretty sure shutting them out. And so that was a really cool experience. And then, it was about an hour drive from Louisville to Frankfurt, and so we were all huddled up into like a little minivan that we had. And so on the way back, like we probably had like 12 kids in a minivan. I was sitting on the glove box. We didn't even have enough seats for everybody. So I think that was a pretty cool experience.
So goodness gracious, thank goodness seatbelt laws wasn't too
Yep.
tight then.
Yeah.
Big time. So let me ask you this: I know you say you play baseball and things like that. When did you know that football was the sport for you?
I think baseball will always have a special place in my heart. But I think going into um, just middle school, I realized like football was what I love to do, and there was nothing like being a quarterback and being in the position that I have. So like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people see it, and they think it's the. I mean, a lot of people will tell you it's the hardest position in the world, but it's also the most fun. I mean, now, you can go and consider, like, if you take into consideration ups and downs in the season, but at the end of the day, I do it because I love it, and I love doing it with the guys that I'm surrounded by, and our defense, and just everybody who is surrounding me and making me better, and just the total team aspect of football. I think that's what made me fall in love with it even more. So,
Mark, did you hear that? He wanted to be that top dog. And
Yes,
quarterback's
sir.
that top dog, man.
Yes,
Like
it is.
that quarterback when you on that Monday and you got that big win and you walk the halls and everybody's just like,
mhm.
yeah, what's going on,
Yep.
Colter?
Yep.
Yeah. But when you lose, they're like, dude, hey, what's going
Yep.
on?
Yep. That's a winning highs and lows of playing quarterback. When you're doing great, everybody loves you. When you have a
Right.
bad game, an off season, everybody just you know you get bashed a little bit. But I think the best thing for me is I've always had a really good supporting cast like around me with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I always know I have, like, if I have a rough game, even if it's not a terrible game, but if I'm hard, I'm really hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can tell when I'm hard on myself, and just looking into the stands and seeing them, like, just even if it's just like a little like head nod, and I know I'm good to go kind of thing. So
Cool, cool.
So, what middle school did you attend?
Barrett Traditional Middle School.
Bird,
We
bird,
are
bird.
you know what? We already knew that.
Yeah.
For everybody who's just watching this, we just wanted to throw you out because, you know, we got either JCTMS, Bird, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like some Johnsons in there or whatever. But
hmm
yeah, it's just like, and because you was on when you was at Bird, you was on a team that was loaded. Had been
Yeah.
on several teams that was loaded.
hmm
And we're not, we're gonna get to the players a little later, but yeah, you was on the team that was loaded, without a
Yep.
doubt.
For sure.
So did you did you play baseball in middle school? Anything?
Um, I trying to think. I think I played my sixth grade year, but after that, I think seventh grade year. That's when I was told I'd actually, because sixth grade year, I think I sat, because it was my first year at Barrett, and then seventh grade was when they told me that I was going to be starting, and that's when I kind of made the done decision.
Cool, cool.
So, did you play any 707 ball?
Yeah. All.
Who-
um.
He had no choice. His pops.
You
His
know,
pops.
we were lucky. So actually, I think the first 7-on-17 that I was ever on was, with an Adidas team, but that was right in the brinks of COVID, and so we played about maybe 3 games, and then they canceled. Like, the governor sent out the everybody needs to stay in their house kind of thing, and so they canceled the whole entire season. And then the following year was when we made 502, and that's kind of where we stay. I think we stayed local the first year, and then the second year was when we started playing in the national tournaments, and that's kind of where I think I got the biggest exposure out, because that's where I got a lot of video from.
Mm-hmm.
I think the local tournaments were good, but kind of like you said with these, like the competition in the national tournaments is second to none, and
Right.
so get see where I stack up has also helped me with confidence, and seeing where I stack up at a national level, not just a local level, has helped me a lot with, one, confidence, two, still building who I am as a quarterback and just as a leader in general. So I think 502 has really helped me with that. Obviously, I think a lot of coaches, when you talk to them about 7-on-7, they say it creates bad habits. So that's one thing that I've always tried to be very aware of, is still keeping footwork. And, I've helped made the playbook for 7-on-7 at 502. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think really helped me become and step more into a leadership role, and also just become more of an advanced quarterback where I can help, make the playbook, make the reads kind of thing, make the progressions and look and see. I think a lot of the progressions that me and my dad went through when we were making the playbook are similar to the ones that to help me.
That's great to say. That's exactly what I was going to say on that. Because we already know you're explaining basically, how 7-on-7 has helped you, and then as you going on and talking, how much, and you hitting on it like, because it's a lot of head coaches that do not like that. Is it has it been very helpful for you to to be able to morph that playbook to look close to Mel?
Yeah, so I think along with the playbook has helped, but I think the biggest place and when it helped it was last year last year I was 16, and so I had just gotten up and they put me with the 18U team, and that's where I saw the biggest difference. So if I were to give advice to anybody playing on 7-on-7 who wants to get better, it would be play with the upper age group, because seeing the game at the fastest pace that it's at is what really helped me slow everything down. And when you get up to the 18U levels and like the highest level of where 7-on-7 is,
Right.
you really, they won't lie to you. Like if you throw a late ball, it's a pick. If you throw it, like that's where you really got to start kind of implementing everything that you're told, like finding early windows, throwing the ball early, making the right reads, making the smart reads. If you get third and short, you don't need to throw it all the way down the field. You just need to get a first down. I think that's what really helped me slow the game down. So if I were to give any advice to anybody who's playing 7-on-7, whether you're quarterback, defense, receiver, just play at a level that's higher than you, and you might fail, but don't be afraid to fail, because that's what's going to make you better.
How many male quarterbacks is on your team?
Right now, we got 5. Yeah. So Wolf went out and recruited a baseball, so he'll be a junior, and then so I'll be senior. We'll have a junior, sophomore, and then 2 freshmen. So that's our 5. 4 of them are down in Hoover right now with me, and then one's at baseball right now.
Wow, wow. Well, hold on. We're not gonna we're gonna read the quarterback room shortly, but I just had to throw that because you hit it on the head, because being that you have been exposed to 7-on-7 and actually for a long time, and able to not everybody's able to create a playbook or have a say on that, but I love how you said that it's okay to fail, because like play up. Get used to that, because you're not going to be successful all the time. You want to be. Everybody wants to be. I mean, that's the name of the game. Everybody wants to be. So I love that part of it, without a doubt. So as far as a quarterback, 7-on-7, how much recruiting do you have to do to your own teammates that are receivers? Because this is an opportunity to get that work in without me going to Mel High. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and compete, because we know that Mel does a 7-on-7, all this kind of stuff. So now we do 7-on-7 passingly. 7-on-7 AAU type stuff like that. So how's it important to you to be able to say, hey, Gates, hey, Antonio, hey, Matt? Because it's plenty of people that have them because they've been on the show. You know what I'm saying? So how's important it is to you to say, hey, come on over here. Let's work.
It's actually very important, and that's where I think I've been lucky. I've played with all these guys, even if we weren't on the same team. Like I've played with all these guys since Little League. Like Max, we played in middle school. Tonio was on the team. Shamai was on the team in middle school. So all of these guys I've played with coming up. Even Josh, who's playing with 7-on-7 with us right now. So it's really important. Yeah, it's really important for me to get them on our team. Some years we have difficulties because a lot of them do track.
Right.
And so our 7-on-7 schedule kind of goes against some of their track schedule. But for all the ones that, when they can make it, it's really important for me to come make it, because that's just more chemistry. I've also been lucky enough to where even if they don't come play 7-on-7, I have like they're great. And if we reach out to each other and just, hey, there's a field open, you want to go get some reps in. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, just with them, as like, I don't think people realize how much off season goes into what we're putting into season. Like, I think this season alone at 502, we had, like, if you look at the team, basically we had a whole male team. And, when you look at the other kids who join us, it's kind of like, I guess you would say it makes sense. But to me, that's where it's really important, because those are the guys who are going to be developing when I leave. So I want to develop them into the great players that they want to be. But two, those are just the guys that I'm going to be around all season. And so those are the guys that I want to build the better relationships with. And that's not to say that, kids at the other schools I don't have great relationships with. I have great relationships with everybody. But as like you said, it's most important for me to build those relationships with my teammates.
Especially a senior. So, yeah, without a doubt.
So, what made a decision to go to Mel?
Honestly, I don't really ever think there was any other place for me. I mean, I went to Manual, I checked it out. But but Male was just always, just the place where I think I went to the Thanksgiving practice that they had 2019 or maybe 2018. No, 2019, yeah. I went to their Thanksgiving practice and their little the Bulldog camp that they had for the young kids.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that anymore, but they did that in 2019. I think they dismissed it after COVID, but in 2019 I went to that, and then I got invited to the Thanksgiving practice, and that's where I was just like, I don't really see myself anywhere else but here. Like, I never really had a conversation with Wolf until my freshman year, but I always just, I guess, felt home here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no other place that really felt not welcoming, but just felt right. This was always just a place for me, I guess.
Mark, God willing, you know what I'm saying? God willing, my Bulldogs have to do another Thanksgiving. You and I going practice. We done. We definitely done. I know Coach Wolf and Coach Kelsey is going to allow that to happen, so I'm not even worried about that. So that's going to happen without a doubt. So, Kolter, how would you describe your game?
I think my game is very, a lot of people see my film and they're like, he can't run. I think for me, that's been a strong point of my offseason this year, is working on mobility. I'm very confident in my arm and throwing the ball. So I think when you see my film, you can, see me sit in the pocket and throw it. And I will tell you, that's probably where I'm most comfortable. But I think a lot of people underestimate the out of pocket things that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like I said, I'm very confident in my arm and I can make any throw on the field. If I were to really put myself and if I were to, I guess, compare myself to anybody, it'd probably be, I really liked Brock Purdy's game this year. Just, the underdog statement coming in, Mr. Irrelevant, doing what he did for the 49ers. I really liked him, and that's kind of, I wouldn't say that's where I like to model my game. I really think Drew Brees is where I probably fit in the most.
Yes. We ain't talking about no 49ers on this show. Yes. Brock Purdy, good job. But yes, Drew Brees, I like that comparison.
Yep. So that's really where I think my game, fits in the most if I were to compare it to somebody else. But if I were to tell you and you'd never seen me play, I would say I have a very capable arm of making any throw. I can drive it across the middle of the field in intermediate throws. I think I'm fairly good at, going through my progressions and, even working backside of those progressions. And that's one thing I've been working on, with Wolf all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I have a competitive nature, just like any athlete, I'm sure. But I think, for me, especially, my edge comes from just wanting to be better than anybody else. And I hate, like I said earlier, I hate looking at somebody else and saying, I'm not the kind of guy who makes excuses and is like, I don't have the same opportunities as them, because I do just like anybody else. So my
Right.
biggest has always been I'm gonna work my butt off, and I'm gonna go get everything that people have told me I can't get, or people that have said only 2% get, or they say it's impossible to go get. So this is where I have always gotten it from.
Let me let me say this real quick. I've been spoiled because like being that a former bulldog that I am, I'm I was a senior when Red was a freshman, and we had good quarterbacks before Red, but Coach Redman,
Yep.
that's my dog,
Yep.
spoiled. Like that changed because it became a passing. Like, let's get this ball out. Let's go. Let's utilize
Yeah.
the athlete. So my thing, I'm really excited. I am truly excited because I know that my little brothers that you're going to be throwing to can take it to the house. And I know my
Yep.
brother Kolter can give that ball to them. I am so excited for this year because I know that when you got to run, you got to run. But I know that you have been working and building for this moment,
Right.
and you have some dogs with you.
Yep.
It's just not a Colter show. It's not a Max Gainey, Antonio Harris, Spike, KJ, Solomon.
Yep.
It's a lot of dogs on this team, and so I'm just intrigued to like see this. Let me ask you this: how quick is your release, man?
I mean, it's very quick. I think I get the ball out faster. Um, I think that's probably one of my biggest strong suits is, being able to make the quick read pre-snap, which has really helped, and then getting it out fast. And I think that's also why, like you said, Spike does an amazing job. And, Spike and our whole line, I'll give them credit to that.
Right,
But
right.
look at our sacks. I mean, I don't think I took more than 5 last year. And, you know, you know, I'm going to give all that credit to my O line because they're great, but I think it also comes down to getting the ball out fast, making smart decisions. So, um, but like you said, with Spike and just the O line, they're probably the people I give the most credit to. And if you were to ask my dad and my mom, they'd give them the same credit because they know that they're the ones.
Better.
Yeah. So my mama always says, me and Spike are like that. So my mama always says like every year or before every game, just remember, you're protecting my baby. Uh,
Love it.
So, is there a football player that you enjoy watching or look up to?
um, you know, I guess it's probably the easiest answer, but Netflix just released a documentary Quarterback, and so I had to hop on that fast.
Did you start watching it yet?
Yeah, I'm already on like episode 5 or 6 of it.
I'm on
Uh,
7.
I think it's just cool to kind of see all their different stories because you got
Yes.
you have the quarterback who's the highest the highs, won the Super Bowls, signed the biggest contract in the NFL. And then you got Kirk, who's kind of in the intermediate of like he's playing some of his best ball, but he hasn't really gotten the huge shot yet. And then you got Marcus, who kind of is like not on the last stretch, but he hasn't really found the franchise where he's belonging
Wait a
at.
minute. They got
Behind
Marcus. They no. Wait a minute. Marcus who?
Marcus Mariota.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
See, I've been watching so. You know what? Let me back up. I'm gonna have to start watching this because
Yep.
Yeah, you got to.
now I'm offended. Now I'm offended. But go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
so I guess I could just tell you, I think watching Patrick Mahomes in the show is probably just the coolest thing. Like, you could just it's crazy to see everything that goes on.
Hmm.
And they take his mic'd up moments, and I think his mic'd up moments are probably the coolest of the show. Kirk Cousins is like just kind of like a dad if you like watch the show.
Yes,
He's just like
yes.
just like
You right.
like I love I can't even remember. I think it was episode 3 or 4 when they did the Chiefs and Raiders game and Patrick Mahomes was going at Max Crosby and he had the fire.
Oh,
He just had the fire.
yeah.
That's when I was like, yeah. So I
Well,
think I guess I'll say Patrick Mahomes probably.
well, the great thing is that Patrick Mahomes just makes it fun. It makes it street
Yeah,
ball. It makes it street
right.
ball. Like everybody can relate to that. Like, it's not like, he's out there running. He still does his reads. He moves
Yep.
around. He does whatever, but he has fun with it. Kelsey has
Right.
fun with it. All that
Right.
stuff. So yeah, definitely. And look, I'm about to tell you, Mark. Kolter's so famous, man. As soon as he went ahead and retweet the stuff, QB list or whatever hit like 70,000 followers. Like, dude's that guy. Kolter's that guy. I'm not playing. Like, for real, for real.
Mr. Social media.
Yeah, he's that guy. But how confident are you before the games, Kolter?
I think I'm just really confident, not only in my abilities, but our team abilities. Like you said, like I've got guys around me who, even if I just need a bailout, like Gainey, Shemai, Josh, Tonio, like I've got guys around me who, if I need a bailout and just throw a 5-yard pass, they can go make it a 75-yard touchdown.
Right.
And I think that takes some of the pressure off of me for sure. Like you said, I have probably one of the best O lines in the state. Our defense is incredible, and so I'm not only confident in my abilities, but I'm confident in our team's abilities to go out there and win games together. And I think that's what really helps me build my confidence, because like when you have confidence in the guys around you, that's going to build your confidence more. And so I know, obviously I know my defense has my back, I got their back, so I'm really excited to see what we do this year, and I think we have a great team, and I think we can run it back again and hopefully win it this time.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, yes, I love that. So what are you focusing on when you out there playing?
I mean, there's a lot of things, I could give you the quarterback answer and tell you, pre-snap reads. I got to, first thing, find the safeties, then I got to go corners. Are they playing cloud? Are they going to, rotate? I think a lot of the times, film has helped me a lot with that, focusing on really, Wolf and I have sat down in rooms at school, and we've like talked about breakdown, how, they rotate their safeties, how they might change it. Like they might show you cover 2 and then roll into a cover 3 kind of thing. So I think film has really helped me focus on my pre-snap reads, because like you said, the biggest thing is getting the ball out fast and quick to our playmakers. And so, but I think the biggest thing for me is to focus on always having that love, and, kind of like you said, just always having fun, because the second you're not having fun, second you're not loving the sport anymore, and that's when it all starts to go down. For me, my biggest focus is, like you said, it's my last year. My biggest focus is to go out, have fun, play the game. I do every weekend, like play how I love it. So, just focusing on really enjoying, because like people always tell you high school is the best years, you love playing on Saturdays and Sundays, but you never forget playing on Fridays.
Right.
And
right.
Fortunately, I've had a lot of people, like I said, who have supported me and have told me, like, do everything you can to keep, these guys in your life, because these are guys who you're going to build, lifelong relationships with.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So I'm not even going to hit about last year's playoff finals or the playoffs that helped you. I want to go to a different angle. I want to go to, like, this show is legacy because of Mel and PRP. And, like, we tried to make sure everybody from the older generations to the current generation. So what advice do you give the young guys that's coming into Mel? The freshmen that's going to be playing on the freshman team that, don't understand. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm going to go with they don't. But what kind of advice do you give them to, like, hey, you at Mel and this is what we do?
I think the first advice I'd give anybody is to just trust the process. I mean, it's a grind. 4 years. I've been through the ups, I've been through the downs of it all. So it's a grind. And so the first advice I would tell anybody is just trust the process and trust yourself, because obviously you know what's best for yourself. I've had to wait my turn, but fortunately enough, I've always looked at the bright side of that, and I've always tried to learn things from the people I've sat behind. And I think biggest for me, that's also given me the edge of, look, I've waited. Now it's my time, kind of thing. And so I would definitely tell them, one, trust the process. You might not start your freshman year, and that's okay. You have 3 more years, and by your senior year, that's when you should be fully potential. Like your potential should be fully there. You should, make the most of it. I think the other thing would just be about traditional male. Like, it's a traditional school. We have a tradition at male that we follow. And I think the one thing Wolf tells us all the time is wherever you go, if you have male on, you're representing male. And that's the biggest thing, because especially around Louisville, like when you go anywhere, somebody's going to recognize the name Male High School. And
Right.
so I think
Yeah.
always keeping male, the tradition, a positive thing, and not you know embarrassing it or making it look bad. That would be probably the second thing. But then the third thing I would just say is just enjoy it. Like, never make it too big. Like football is football's never gonna not gonna last forever. You can even Tom Brady's done now, and he was the
Right.
oldest. Like, never
Mhm.
take it for granted. Just always have fun with it, because at some point, whether it's college, whether you make it pro or not, it's gonna be finished. And the one thing you don't want to do is live with regretting it. So I would just tell them, always make the best of what you got.
I want to say this. Great answers across the board. I meet several people who, sons, daughters, what I'm saying, just go to male and get back to want to get back to football. Um, I love that answer that it's okay to wait your turn. It's a microwave society now. People want to transfer, get out of there, do what they got to do. Um, that answer is old school to me, because I know when I was, when I was a freshman, for only a couple able to play or even dress out. So
Yeah.
sophomore year, you got to get the grind, you get accustomed to it. Junior year, I was fortunate enough to start. Sophomore year, I played every game. Very fortunate to play every game and play valuable minutes. Junior year, I started. Of course, senior year, I started like that. But that's just my story. Like, it's okay. You can start it as a senior and be successful and mean
Right.
everything to male. You can start as a like. There's not a thing like. I just don't like when people say there's too much competition
Mm-hmm.
at male.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
okay, yeah. I mean, I could have went to some other schools and probably won a whole state and all this kind of stuff like that. But I'm like, I love that, because that's being the realization to these kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not against you. I'm cut from a different cloth, meaning that if somebody's in front of me, I gotta play and prove that I'm better than him,
Right.
point blank.
Yep.
And that's gonna be a fight every
Mm-hmm.
day in practice. So I love how you said that, man. I mean, that's real. Like, your time is gonna come, but you need to go ahead and sometimes you got to force that time.
Yep.
You seen the games. You split with the starting quarterbacks and played meaningful games. So you have survived that. You know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and have been there. You know what I'm saying, and like I said, led wins and stuff like that. I love that advice that you gave right there.
What's your favorite part about playing football?
Ooh. Uh, I don't even know if there's one answer to that. I mean, I guess the brotherhood would be my best answer for it. I mean, there's not a day go. I mean, you're with the guys every single day. I think that's probably the biggest aspect of, like, if you're not a team guy, football is not your sport, because you're with these guys. Especially when we get into two days, 24, not 24/7, but you're basically with these guys every day of the week
Right.
for at least 6 7 hours maybe. You choose to go work out extra, you're with them even longer. So I think the brotherhood aspect of it, for sure. I think my other favorite thing is definitely just, I think not a lot of people love it, but like, it's kind of my big thing when I get hit. I mean, that's the one thing I've always, it just takes a hit or two, and then you're finally like, all right, I'm here, kind of thing. So like, I've always embraced, getting hit. Now obviously, I don't want someone taking a cheap shot or like trying to. I can appreciate a good hit here and there, and I think that's also one thing I felt. I'm not gonna say I fell in love with it because that would make me sound crazy, but that was one thing that I've always, embraced as a quarterback. Um, but yeah, I would say brotherhood, and just playing the game that I love. I mean, I think it's just simple when there's no really way to say it other than just breaking it down to I've fallen in love with something that's made me feel, whole when it's a form of therapy for me,
Right.
really just getting out there and forgetting everything. And so I think really just it's a game that I fell in love with. And, I get to play it every day, fortunately.
And that penthouse that I got, man, is somebody in that room with you?
Not right now, but
Do me, do
I'm
me a
staying
fa-
in the
do me a
the
favor.
quarter.
Turn them lights on, man. Yeah, get up. While I tell everybody to go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe to the Mark and Will. Hit that follow button. Do what you got to do. We got to see. Hey, you the QB1. They got to see your face, baby. Hey, you got to see you. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you this: what do you feel you have to work on? What part of your game you got to work on?
I don't think there's one thing. I've always told myself I got to work on every single aspect of my game. I think, the biggest thing for me to prove right now is that I can be, a mobile and
Mm-hmm.
improvisation quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I can improv something, when the pocket breaks down, I can get
Right.
out. I can make something out of nothing kind of thing. And so that's kind of the biggest thing, working in some off platform, but, I think my biggest thing is footwork, mechanics, just kind of trying to stay consistent in that because I never want to, be complacent.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing is not really one thing that I work on more than everything else. I'm just big on kind of as a whole, core rotation, hips, footwork,
Right.
mobility in that aspect.
Cool.
So, besides being Drew Brees on the field, what fun things do you like doing?
I mean, I'm like any other kid. I love playing games when I have the opportunities. I love hanging out with friends, going to dinner with them, just going out. I love hanging out with my girlfriend when I get the chance. I think a lot of people, look at it, but when it comes down to it, I'm just like any other kid. I love just having off time, vacation. I mean, some days I feel lazy, but there's nothing like getting out with your family and just, hanging out with the people that you love and really enjoying that time because like when we get into the season, I don't have a lot of time to spend with them. So my
Hmm.
biggest thing is always, cherish them as much as I can because they mean the most to me.
So one of the greats who I played with, he commented. He wants to know any new upcoming players we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Uh,
So
you know,
go ahead.
um, Okay. Yeah, I mean, you want to look at our running backs, Chase, Brandon. I already told you, Brandon. They're all dogs, and they're going to have great seasons this year. They'll probably rotate. Receiving core wise, you already know Gainey and Antonio, Shamai, Josh, all those guys. We have some sophomores, Colin Jefferson, Strawn, David
Hey,
Singh.
Colin.
Yep, Colin. That's my guy. I'll shout out the guy who has honestly surprised me is Jordan. He's our backup quarterback right now. I honestly, if I looked at him in 2-3 years times when he's going to be starting, I'm really excited to see where he's going to be at. I mean, if he, really hones into everything and his potential, I think he could be great.
What's up, Jordan?
Defense. Yep. Defensively, KJ, Solomon, Tony will be out there at corner too.
Mm-hmm.
Safeties, we got Kamari, uh, Demarcus Robinson. D line, we got Bryce. A lot of actually our D line's fairly young. We have our ends, Cornelius, and I mean, I think the biggest right now, Spike. Obviously, you guys seen it. He's blown up this offseason. I'm so
Right,
proud
right.
of the work he's put in. It's definitely well deserved. But if you look at his surrounding cast, I think he's done a really great job of teaching them. Because his dad will be the coach now. His dad played in the NFL too. So I mean,
Right.
that's like
Don't bring it up because I'm on
yeah,
Isaac
yeah.
Souls Senior. Yeah.
That's my guy. Love Isaac. But yeah, if you go look at our tackles and our guards, Isaiah, Jackson, Luis, Steven, Thomas. Like, I think anywhere you look in our team, you're going to find a star, and that's where I'm most fortunate because I get to have all these guys surrounding me.
No, you're right. You're right. So let me do. We're gonna run over today, guys. So bear with us. We're gonna run over today because not every day you get the QB1 on here. So we're gonna definitely run out. So who? It's so crazy because this is nuts. And I don't want you to. I know you down there at 7-on-7. So let me do this. We do this. This is the male edition. It's crazy. I was gonna. Nah, let me. Nah, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this because Mark. I'm gonna bring this. Mark has asked me before, who is the best running back and stuff like. A lot of the stuff that we ask on the show is, so it's predicated on what we have done before. And I'm not going to do the hands because you got two guys that, what I'm saying, and all this, run a game and all this stuff. So did he just check that on us? Did I screw him on that? Did I screw him on that? I mean, I wasn't going to do it, Kolter. I wasn't going to do it. Because I know how difficult that is. I do know how difficult that is. And that's a little biased. It's a lot biased, but, my thing is, hope he'll call back in. Hope he'll rejoin us. But, man, this is something. And I love, though, Mark, that, QB1 is leadership.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Absolutely.
You have to be a leader of that team, and I hopefully we get some other schools on her, and some other great schools and things like that we need to. We love quarterbacks, we love receivers, running backs. We had our run of offensive linemen. That's okay. We love that. Let's go Kolter again. Kolter, okay, he's back. That's cool.
I think I lost it. I'm sorry.
Now you good. So I'm gonna do it this way. Who's the fastest on the team, man?
Actually, we were talking about this the other day. I'd probably have to give it to one of our track guys. We never had a race to decide it, but it'd probably be Tonio, Chase Burton, Brandon Richardson, Demarcus Robinson. I'd probably put Max in there. I think Max can get in there definitely. If I were to give it to a winner, who I would put my money on, probably either be Chase or Antonio.
Oh,
Chase
is fast like that?
He's fast like that.
Oh,
when
wow.
he gets out in open space, it's hard. You're not gonna catch him.
Mark, Chase is he'll be a sophomore. He was the freshman running back. Yeah, goodness gracious. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah,
that's scary. Throw some screens to him so he can go ahead and take it out.
For sure. We've talked about it. I got him.
Let me ask you this. Who's the kicker? Because
Gossett, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll miss Gossett. That was my guy. I don't really know who's gonna be our starting kicker yet because we haven't really gotten into the special teams aspect of things yet. We have I think 3 or 4 right now. So Seth, Seth and Luke, and then we got another soccer kid. So I think Luke and this other kid, I don't know his name yet, but Luke and this other kid are both soccer players, and so that's where they get their legs from. And then Seth, I think Luke was our kicker at JV last year, so I think it'll either be Seth or Luke who will take Gossett's kind of thing. And I know both of them have been talking to Gossett and keeping in touch. So
yeah, great kicker, great all-state kicker, without a doubt. So let's do this way. Let's do this. Because, like I said, I know people, I'm biased, so I want to go ahead and do it this way. So, what player you calling, man? You down by 6 points, man. What player you calling with 10 seconds left, 4th and 7? What play are you calling? Because you told us you call plays. So, what plays are you calling to win this game?
there's a lot of things that go into that. Where we're at on the field. I mean,
Okay,
fourth
I
and
got you.
seven.
No, I got
Yeah.
you. I
Okay. Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
I
Here we
got
go.
you. We on the 15. There's
Okay.
10 seconds left. You're
Okay.
down by 6. It's third and we say third and goal. What you calling?
Third and goal, down by 6 on the 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you took a sack.
I took a sack. Oh, so now I got to make up for it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, last year, it was a play we ran against Manuel. It's honestly, it's one of those where, you kind of put all your eggs in one basket. But when you have a guy like Gainey or Tonio, you're lucky enough that you can do that. I think, depending on the defense, if we get a man look, I'm obviously going to look towards wherever Max is to find an open space. Because I think if we can get Max on any kind of route that he's I don't think anybody in Kentucky can guard him man to man, and I'm confident about that. That's
Me too.
Gainey's my guy, and if you watch the film, nobody can guard him man on man. If they give us a zone look, I'm definitely depending. I'd really like this year we've implemented a play out of the Rams playbook. I won't say too much on it.
No. Don't. You're not going to have Coach Wolf
that
mad
would
at
be
me.
my go-to. Yeah, that would be my go-to. I won't say too much on it because you guys will see a lot of it this season. But yeah, if Wolf watches this, he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Coach Wolf, I am not trying to get rid of those plays or expose.
Yeah.
So let's just go this way. Let's go this way. Let's get this. Batman or Superman?
Oh, we talking about in a fight or just who's my favorite?
Who's your favorite?
Probably Superman. I'll give it to Superman.
Why?
The double life. I mean, they both live a double life, but Clark Kent, I think that's just the most iconic. I kind of like Bruce Wayne, but I've definitely dabbled in more of the, Superman comics and the storyline rather than the Batman. So I'm going to go Superman.
All right, cool. Tacos or pizza?
Tacos. All day, every day.
Where you getting them at? Where's the spot at?
We have a spot right next to our house, is Limoni Saw, and if you were to ask Chad Smith any other day of the week, it's Mexican food. And so I love pizza just like any kid, but if I were to go get some steak tacos, the street tacos, those are definitely the go-to.
So what if your look, I'm going to drop this. Let me drop this on him. What if your twin want to go somewhere else?
My twin wants to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Sometimes you either got to do that.
Hold on. I don't think Mark know you have a twin.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no. Yep. I got a twin. I think, a lot of the times, I think people realize he's definitely not a pizza or a taco kind of guy. He's more like, salads or Drakes. He really likes Drakes. And I'll always go Drakes with him. That's for sure. I'll pick Drake. I'll pick Drakes with him on that. If he says something absurd like "Let's go to Panera," we might have to, we might have to talk about that. But
what's your brother's name?
Dalton.
Dalton, what's up? Shout out to him, big time.
Yep.
I seen you on the sidelines doing what you got to do, without a doubt. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. Let's go here. Bing, Jason Tatum, John Morant. Who you rolling with?
After this season, I'm gonna go Jason Tatum, man. Oh, that stretch. I don't know. I think you could look at Jaw. He kind of got put in that situation, but I'll go Jason Tatum on that one.
Cool. Jimmy John's Penn Station.
Oof. I'm not a huge cold sub kind of guy. I can go for a Penn Station. Jimmy John's has definitely grown on me. I never had it until probably this or last year or this year, and it's definitely grown on me. But Penn Station, and you can't beat their fries either. Penn Station's fries are, oof. So I'll go Penn Station on that little Philly cheesesteak action.
Yeah. Philly's cheese with the fries. Get some of that lemonade. It's $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. Now, y'all listen to a lot of music, going in and all kind of stuff. And you know,
Yeah.
you might have some other music you want to do, but I know I've heard Little Baby, Little Dirt. So,
Yeah.
what you rolling with? Who you rolling with?
I'm more of a little baby kind of guy. Yeah, that's I think that's really what gets us pumping in the locker room too. But I'll be listening to it in the car sometimes, and my dad just be like, "I don't know how y'all listen to this because I don't even know what he's saying." But Little Baby, I'll go Little Baby on that every day. That's my
Oh,
pregame. When we're out on the field, that's my pregame. That's what's gonna get me antsy. So
I know that's right, Chad. We gonna need them hats. We gonna need them hats, Chad. We gonna need them hats for real, for real. So we can go ahead and pub your stuff without a doubt. Qdoba Chipotle.
Chipotle, definitely.
He said it's no
Yeah,
question. He
no
said
question at
no
all.
question at all. PlayStation, Xbox.
I've had both. I'll say I'm more of a PlayStation guy. You know, I guess it's just preference. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. I'll say for me, all my friends have just played on PlayStation, and so that's kind of where I became the PlayStation guy. But growing up, we had a PS2, then a PS3, and then my brother got a PS4, and I had the Xbox One when it first came out. And so I'd always been Xbox, and then I made the switch, and I never looked back. So
Mark, did you see? See, when you have a twin, you win, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, you asked for the Xbox, I asked for the PlayStation. Win
Right.
all the way around. Yes.
exactly.
Hey, that's how you do it. Ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get them out of there. Where we going next? AirPods or Beats by Dre?
I guess if you were gonna go like the little ones, I'd probably go AirPods. But I like the big ones, the big
Yes.
beats more. I just think AirPods. Honestly, I've worked out with them, and they just fall out all the time. It's kind of a hassle. But so I would pick Beats. But if we were gonna go like the earbuds, I'd probably go AirPods.
Cool. This next one is the DeAndre Malone question.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Who he said
Uh-oh.
sponsored by DeAndre Malone. That's what we're gonna say. Drums or flats? What you got?
Ooh, I'm a drum guy. For sure. Drums.
Yes, sir.
What sauce you using, man?
Honestly, I think it depends on the place. I mean, I could always go for regular buffalo. Sometimes I like the what's it called. We go to Roosters every game on Friday nights. That's a go-to spot.
That's a spot. That's a spot.
And I'll always make the joke that Roosters is a staple here in Kentucky because no matter where you go, we've been out of state to Roosters, but it's never like it is at the one on Preston Friday nights.
Right.
That's the Roosters. That's the spot, and I'll go there. And sometimes I'll get their buffalo. Sometimes I'll get mild. They have the Chipotle ones. They have like this Asian one that's really good too, and then sweet Thai. Yeah, sweet Thai. The sweet Thai chili ones are real good. So, I mean, I don't really think there's a definite sauce that I'm always with. I always like to try new things, and so that's kind of I'll go with. But any kind of Roosters, I'll go Roosters any day.
I love that. I love that. Want to thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We know you in Alabama. You taking care of business. I've been on that trip and everything like that. And thank you for reaching out because we definitely wanted you on here. But
Yes, sir.
I want to do something different.
Okay.
Do something different. I want to do something different. Pass the mic. Pass the mic. Who should we get next on the show?
Okay.
Now,
I'm gonna try and get y'all somebody.
Hold on. I was going to say now we done had plenty.
I know y'all had all these male kids. So I'm gonna try and get y'all somebody y'all haven't had yet. I would get my man Chase. Chase for sure. Josh.
No. Give me one. We don't want a list.
You just want one?
I want one.
Oh,
it ain't gonna be next week
one.
because next week I think we got some other stuff going on. But yeah, the next male bulldog who should be on the show, and you got to help us out on this though. You got to
All right.
you know.
I mean,
You already know. You already know who we had quite a few.
Yeah. I'll go Chase Burton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's. I'll go Chase Burton.
Okay, cool. Hit him with the last comment.
Yes, sir. This is the time we give our guests the floor to thank everybody who's always been in their corner.
All right. First and foremost, I probably thank God above all. I mean, honestly, any position that I'm in is because of him, and because of him, I think that's where I've really, one, got my athletic ability, but two, have became the person who I am. Two, I'd love to thank my family. I mean, like you guys said, my dad and my mom and my brother all are probably my biggest support system. But even if I go outside my family to my extended family, I have probably like four or five moms who I can always count on.
Right.
And the guys in my life have always provided a very good role model system for me to become like a man. Uh, Lastly, I'll thank my teammates, and I mean that's not just to any one of them in particular, that's to all of them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am. And I mean, my goal for this year is just to show them how grateful I am to have this opportunity to play with them one last time. Um, I would like to thank obviously my girlfriend for just being my rock, but always being my support system, because there's times like we were talking about earlier. There's times where you wake up and you choose this life, but you don't always want to do it. And so I'm really grateful to, one, have her, and two, have the rest of my family to always push me. And I think the strongest person in my life is my mom, and I mean that's because she always keeps it real. Like that's the biggest thing. You always want to hear something, but you don't. You always want to hear good things, but sometimes you need to hear something else. And I think my mom has always done a really good job of keeping it real and always pushing me. Like when I'm like, today's one of those days where I'm just not feeling it. She's like, she hits you with that mom line. Well, I don't always want to go to work, but I wake up and do it. I would say, yep. So I've heard that one too many times. So. But yeah,
You know
I would
what?
say my mom and just my family in general are the strongest and people I'm most grateful for in my life.
You know what? You saved your butt on that, because I was coming at you, and I'm glad you brought your mom. I mean, you're talking about your girl and everything, which is good. But I'm glad you said, "Hey, moms, we know dad is always dad's part of the family, the Mark and Will Show family, without a doubt." But I'm glad that because I was thinking, is he gonna end with his girlfriend? Like, and that's cool. I mean, I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
but Mom Dukes, Mom Dukes,
Know
Mom
it.
Dukes is
I
always
think that the other thing about mom is we all see dad, but
right,
mom's the one holding him down too. So I mean,
right.
mom really has an you know she's very probably one of the moms who, a lot of moms, when kids play sports, are not very involved. And I think, it's really a credit to her, because she's never, as much as probably annoying it's gotten before, she's never backed down from the challenge of being a team mom and being there for me. And that's what I'm really grateful to have her for.
Yes, sir. That's great stuff. So, hey, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight, man. I know you got a big tournament. Do what you got to do. Go Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir.
definitely won't be the last time I talk to you. You definitely see us on the sidelines. Do what we got to do, man.
Yes,
take
sir.
care of business. Do
Yes,
what you
sir.
got to do. Respect you. Love you, man. God
I love you
bless.
too. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do. So look. Next week, guys, we're gonna get our hands up. No show on Monday, no show on Tuesday. We trying to go ahead and get some bangers on bangers, meaning great shows.
Yep.
On Wednesdays and Thursday. So trying to line up something special for you guys. But it's been a great week. Thank you guys for really being there for us, and continue to support us. Go ahead and hit that follow button. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
Nothing but bangers, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, guys.
Be safe.
Mark and Will. Yeah. What you know about them Bulldogs and them Panthers? Legacy. That's right. Legacy. That's Mel and PIP's in on this legacy. Let's go. What you know about this legacy? Wednesday night, tuned in to this legacy. Mark and Will locked in on this legacy. Get your popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.